Righty, welcome to another Monday Night Footy Pod. Anthony, how are we doing today?
How's high, Brian? It's high. It's like it's the episode when your parents are away. The podfather is polishing his slippers and getting a really in-depth physical. I don't know what that entails, but I think gloves are going to be worn and yeah, areas explored. So thinking of you, Gary. All the best, mate.
Yeah, Gary, we do miss you here, obviously. Listen, it's tough. But listen, I think if there's any week Gary can miss, a little FA Cup one.
Yeah, he's phoning that in a little bit, right?
Mm,
He's a professional Premier League
Yeah.
podcast. With the
Listen,
Premier League, that's when he gets his little
everyone
break.
listen, you know what? It did seem like he did make his other podcast this week, though. I saw some other clips coming out about that. So
Which one?
I don't know. He's got like 9 of them, right?
Nine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna the fee we pay him, which is not as competitive as his other, but his agent's a nice fella. We'll get him sorted. No, it's I don't know. I'm not like a big philosophical lad. The football, forget the Premier League, football in the last 7 days seems to have lost its shit. I don't know if it's in line with like the stuff that's going on in the general news, which we're not going to touch upon. But like, there's some weird shit going on. Some of them in the results, some of them in the clips we'll get to later. Yeah, mad week. Staying away from the violence of our podcast last week. I was going to give you a couple of minutes to take the floor.
Yeah. Listen, I'd like to first of all, I want to issue a retraction. Last week, before we get into everything this week, the podcast has been asked to issue an official statement regarding the alleged unpaid bar tab from February 1st. And listen, last week during the show, accusations were made that
Uh,
Anthony Packwood was responsible. At the time, the panel moved quickly to judgment, much like a referee giving a red card in like the 3rd minute. However, after a full review process, the podcast initiated what can only be described as a VAR investigation. We checked the receipts, we received the footage, we consulted the bartenders, we even went frame by frame through the security footage. And after careful review and assessment, VAR has overturned the decision. Anthony Packwood is not responsible for the unpaid bar tab. The responsible party, after further investigation, has been identified as myself. So I would like to apologize to Anthony for the wrongful accusation and for briefly damaging his reputation across the
it's
community.
just good to breathe again.
The good news is the tab has now been paid. The bad news is that following the review, I've been issued a lifetime ban from ordering one more official decision from the booth. Packwood, no foul, me, clear penalty.
What a funny scenario. It shows you what a degenerate day that was, because I was like, there's no way. How's that? I went through bank statements and I was like, but what? I speak to my missus. I was looking at the schedule. I was like, why would that be in that day? There's no games on there. But no, listen, Brian, I really appreciate that. Took a big man to kind of, hear me out and take responsibility. And you're taking it as if it was you were the only party. You're defending your friends. It wasn't
That's
just you.
true.
That
True.
was a
There's a
table
couple.
of table of 5 of the gentlemen around me.
None of them made accusations though. So did some of them ride the coattails of when we were having a little fun with it? Yes, I
There
think
were some
that
DMs.
need some
DMs said,
apologies that are necessary to come from some of the other people. But
and I appreciate you messaging my father. My father reached out after listening to the podcast to see if I was short on cash and if I needed a lift because of the accusation. So it became a family matter. But again, Christmas is back on, swiftly resolved, and I appreciate your candidness and honesty, Wizard.
you know what? And listen, to honor you there, we're gonna start off talking
The
about last
mighty,
week's matches.
yeah.
Let's talk about Everton 2-0 against Burnley, all the way moving into European football spots. I mean, you guys look good right now. Talk to us about it.
Reckon it'll be 8 places. Do you think that's where it'll go?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up. I think I said at the start of the season, success for me this year would be a non-stressful, a nice 13th and above finish. And I mean that, giving us the ability to kind of break away from the relegation battle, the relegation association, from a morale, a fan, a recruitment perspective. I thought that was really important. Yeah, we're playing all right. We're playing quite inconsistently. It's good to have some of the big lads back. we're not a big enough team to be able to lose Shrewsbury Hall and Branthwaite and Ghana Gay to the AFCON. We just can't. We haven't got that depth.
Not
We
to
have
mention
got
Grealish too.
yeah, but honestly,
I know you've looked a little better without him.
well, it was so one way because no matter who you are, he's got such a natural draw that you go right head up and you look left. And now he's had to change the system, and it didn't work at first. He was trying to force dribbling in there, and I think that's a whole different conversation. Don't know what's going on with that lad, but he just looks lost. And then Armstrong came back, played really well in centre midfield. He didn't send him back to Preston, so I think to kind of like squeeze him into the starting lineup. He was playing him out left, and it just didn't work. He's not quick enough. He's not a winger. So then you're looking at that, and then since that's been put to bed, he's put McNeil back on the right and Dye back on the left.
And
I don't
Dye's
know.
he's been your best player.
Shadow. Well, Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury
Yeah,
Hall.
but Ndai is the one who's making everything like he is. I remember, well, bringing it back to the Newcastle, like he had Trippier on skates that match. Like,
My granddad could have Trippier on skates at
yeah,
the
that's
minute. Like
true.
Trippier looks dog shit, and I like the fella. I wanted him in the off season. I think I would argue that our biggest threat isn't I, but I think our overall best player has been Dewsbury Hall. McNeil the last two games, McMessy might be back. You know,
Yeah,
he's coming in on the left. He looks a threat. He's shooting at will.
captain's goal, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. For once,
Yeah,
I didn't bet. A terrible better. It's kind of a theme and a gambler, sorry, kind of a theme of this podcast. But I've always every week bet Tartovsky to score any time because the odds are really good. You put traditionally with FanDuel, you put a fiver on and you'll get like 110 back. So it's an easy
yeah,
one and it keeps the game interesting because this spin.
and he's not going to get subbed off either.
No, is he? Is he? Hell no. And then you've got the
Yeah,
other lads who, but I didn't bet it, but it was good. Yeah, it looks good. Jimmy Gardner again looks fantastic. The team's looking all right. We still need a striker. And then Schmitty for Rangers just absolutely flying. That does your fucking head in. He
yeah.
looks like a real threat. But yeah, no complaints. You opened it asking about Europe. Not even in my mindset right now. Just that we're ticking along and not getting in
Vibes are
trouble.
high though. Vibes are
I
high.
think so. It's inconsistent. Like you never know. We can play completely awful and then we can win 3-1, 3-2, whatever it is, So the vibes are high. We needed a win at home. People were starting to talk about that a lot. So putting that chat to bed was nice. And yeah, happy chap. I'll take it.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, you got to keep rolling. Got to keep rolling there. You
Yeah.
guys looking good. Now, across the park though. I know he's not here, but Wolves, I mean, is Wolves the toughest place to play in the Premier League right now?
You're looking at players that have got complete freedom, haven't you? There's no pressure on them. They're down. They're enjoying the football. The fans, the atmosphere in the stadiums are quite a celebratory one. Rob Edwards coming back and running to the fans. It's dangerous to play against free men. Like those lads have got nothing to worry about because they've had so much to worry about. The full stop's been put in and they're just playing ball. Yeah, I do think with Liverpool, it was starting to look good, starting to get a bit consistent, and then I don't even know how I describe this game. It was just a bad day at the office, wasn't it? Across the board, like back problems at the back again.
Now Allison's injured now.
Yeah,
He's not even playing in the Champions League match tomorrow.
that's not on for them because they're not in a
No.
position at the moment to be able to. And the lad we sold to the Irish lad we sold to Brentford. What's his name?
Queen Kelleher.
Yeah, he would have been a backup that you wouldn't worry about, but I don't
Yeah.
trust their backup right now. So yeah, they're just having an inconsistent season. They'll probably get Champions League. If they get Champions League by goal difference, doesn't matter. Any form of Champions League confirmed by these lads is success, I think. And they probably should get it because Villa are dropping like a stone.
Yeah.
So
Villa do not look good right now. We're not going to talk too much about it, but Chelsea, I mean, they blew them out and
yeah,
they don't look like they've got it. Like they were one of those teams that I think they came back in a lot of games this season and that magic just doesn't seem to be there
yeah,
right now. But speaking about, obviously we've got a contested Premier League, but Man City really kind of bailed out Arsenal here with getting a
yeah.
draw against Forest. And I don't know if you saw that
Is that it
Morgan
now?
Gibbs White. Did you see that Morgan Gibbs White goal? Whew, little back heel right there. Elliot Anderson with a beautiful goal to tie it up in the 76th minute there. It was a really, really fun game to watch. I think, like, you look at City, they led twice in this game and gave up equalizers both times. Yeah, listen, I think when you're in a title race like that and you're going up against a team like Forest, you got to go get those points. And I think that
Mm.
that's one of those things where you just gave up some very valuable ground. Those are two big points right there. 5 points versus 7. That's not
Yeah, it's different.
insignificant.
It's still going to come down to that game, but you can feel like the way people are talking about Arsenal now. That was the kind of the result where people are like, "All right, cool, enough." Right? Like, and then Arsenal look good now, don't they? They look confident. Um, yeah, they look quite solid.
I think there's something about Arsenal too for this season that, I bet you in their locker room, they love that everyone's shitting on the way they play. Like they're
Yeah,
calling them Stoke, they're calling them, set piece merchants, like everything you hear, oh, it's WrestleMania out there. Like everything you hear, like if I'm Arteta, I'm just leaning into that. And it's like
yeah,
everyone hates us, everyone hates. Do you think those fans give a shit how they win the
no,
league this year? They do not give one fuck. Sorry for
yeah,
my cursing. Well, I
of
think
course.
it's just I'm a person, but listen, I think Arsenal I think they're gonna take the league this year. I just don't think Man City's got it this year, and
Yeah,
we'll see what ends up happening. Obviously,
you can
a
never write
lot
off Pep.
no, and a lot can change. And you look at, Semenyo is just absolutely hit the ground running there.
Mm,
Scored again against Forest.
mm.
He is just unreal. And the fact that they were able to get him, it's been interesting though. Holland's he's been a little quiet since Semenyo's got there too. So I
They
wonder if
didn't get to menu. It would have been tough because they only had one goal scoring option, and that was soft lads.
I don't know if you watched on the weekend though. Marmouche kind of,
They look good.
yeah. So I think that he was injured. Then he had AFCON as well, so he was out for a
Uh,
while. But listen,
he, he looked good last year.
yeah, he's got some goals where you're like, oh my, like outside the box shots, and it's like, he hit one again this weekend. Ramsdale just stood there like, what happened?
Yeah,
But listen, we don't want to talk about the negative of Newcastle just yet, because listen, we know what happened a week ago. We know it's been the talk of the town the last week, but Newcastle 2-1 versus Man United at home played the last 45 minutes with 10 men. A little bit of an interesting red card there. They gave Jacob Murphy a second yellow for diving. Listen, I don't think it was a dive. I think
yeah.
that there was a little bit of contact. I don't think it was a penalty. I'm not saying it was a penalty, but you can't say like he kind of just fell over. Like guys are allowed to fall over. He didn't even look back at the ref and complain and ask for a penalty.
Mm.
Like they just immediately gave that second yellow, and it's like, it's a tough one.
I don't think I've seen a card for diving this year. I don't
I
think I've
know.
seen a card, and so like that it was it was dramatic, but it wasn't the worst. Like he was looking for it, sure, but it wasn't. I wouldn't call it cheap. You know?
Yeah. And listen, not to be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist here, but United's had back-to-back weeks now with some pretty soft Reds out there, and listen, they couldn't get it done against us because Willow Sula, late winner, 90th minute. I mean, you know what? He doesn't really get to play that much, but they literally just throw him in there whenever we're down to 10 men, or listen, maybe if we just need to nick a goal, and he just has so much pace. He's got so much speed, and he's just like a chaos guy out there. And you could see like he just got out there, fired up the right side. Great pass by Trippier, which led him. I thought he was actually going to fall over about 2 or 3 times. He kind of looks
Yeah,
like a baby deer on ice sometimes
yeah,
when he's running out there. Shout out that reference. Literally, like just one of the best moments. You hear all the different calls. I've listened to the radio call. I've watched every single highlight of it, every single angle that you could potentially see of it. It's just, you know what? Like we deserve that, and we really needed a league win. We've been
yeah,
shit since the start of the year. We've had guys out injured, but just getting those 3 points, like, I don't know, like, there's something where, like, even myself, like, I was starting to look at that table and I'm like, "Man, we're only like 8 or 9 points off of like relegation here." Like,
yeah, yeah.
that scares you a little bit. And getting those 3 points at home, like, that was massive. And just to see the fans having a moment like that, it was much needed for
What
the
a goal!
morale. Yeah, what
Like
a goal, too.
he kept it in and just like with such aggression, just ran at them, and then he didn't really. I don't know how he saw that space. When he bent it around the defender, he hit it so clean that it was just, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just, it must be frustrating for you knowing you've had this lad on the bench. I'm not saying he's going to do that every week, but he's got it in the
Yeah.
locker. He's got that in the locker, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. Listen, we'll now pivot over. I mean, let's just chat about Newcastle again, but he gets the start against, Man City, and
Does
as you can
nothing.
see,
Yeah.
just didn't really have the same results there, same impact.
Was
And
it different?
yeah, I mean, that was a tough one. I mean, Voltamata's really struggling right now. They're trying to figure out where to put him. They played Osula and him together. And, the first 20, 25 minutes, like we look great. Harvey Barnes gets a goal. We actually should have scored again. And that's like the Newcastle's problem is they just have no idea how to put teams away. And then Marmouche just basically had some of these just amazing, amazing goals. And it was impressive. I mean, we've had to play them. I think it was the fifth time we played them this season between the cups and between everything. And it's just like, I'm just sick of seeing them.
Yeah.
We don't match up that well against them. Because Newcastle's never going to be a team that's just going to sit back and
Mm.
counter you. They really want to attack. They really want to press teams. And the way that Pep and Man City play with that ticky-tack football, just controlling possession, it's very difficult for I just think we just don't match up really well against them.
Mm.
And a little bit of a frustration. You get off to a good start, and then it's like, come on, like just giving up those goals and tough 3-1 loss there.
Yeah, it just after such a positive result in the week, it just kind of it just there was no space for it to build up and people to say good things in the press anymore. And Eddie Howe go to a press con. It was Man City, so you going in there to beat Man City. It wasn't Man City's starting 11, if I'm being completely honest. You look at those,
No, no, it wasn't.
still world class players though. You could still name every single one of them, right? It's not like these put kids out there, but yeah, it would have just been a different story for you if you'd got something from that. Or even made it a little bit tighter. 2 drinks on the go. Let's go.
I've got about 9 different drinks here because, as you know, I'm recovering from the weekend, so hydration is essential. Well, yeah, we could put that on there.
Yeah.
But listen, I do want to pivot over to another game. I don't know if you saw the goal, but Port Vale, League One Port Vale stunned Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Ben Waine, not only did Ben Waine do that, he hit the Shearer celebration right in the Sunderland fans' face. What a moment for Port Vale. I mean, that guy, New Zealand player, like he just had the biggest smile on his face. Apparently grew up as a Newcastle fan as well. So
That's what everyone was saying.
a little bit of a jab there to Sunderland. I know we've got the derby coming up here, but it's nice to see if we're gonna get knocked out of the cup, it's good to see them knocked out as well.
Yeah, and like you saw the Wrexham game, right? Like that was cinema. And that was just daft. And it was the first time they've ever had a VAR intervention at that stadium ever, and it's the one that screws them. It was fine though, because I just think it would have been a distraction. They would have wanted that. Do you know what I mean? They would have gone all in on that competition when they're at the wrong end of the playoffs, the championship. Great entertainment from our side. You've got the lads in the stadium and everyone, the cameras going to them all the time. But I'm kind of, glad for them and the integrity of the cup that they didn't just get through because of the story.
Yeah.
I sort of about that would have been just a little bit too cheesy.
Yeah, a
Put
little
up a
bit too
good
much.
fight. Put up a
You know
good
what's
fight.
crazy though? Like it's just
Legal
you know
football.
You know what's crazy though is also I actually forgot to say this before, but for the teams that are in European football, it's crazy. Like they said on during the Man United Newcastle game that Newcastle's played 15 more matches than Man United this season.
Not
Like
nothing.
that's crazy to think about, right?
Not nothing.
And I think with the FA Cup too, I think Eddie Howe kind of looked at he kind of rested some guys. Like Anthony
Yeah.
Gordon didn't start. Like I think he was looking at Barcelona on Tuesday and he's like that definitely is a bit more important than probably this FA Cup fifth round.
He seems to play so much freer with the Champions League because I
Yeah.
don't know if it's an expectation thing. I don't know if because you've got good players in a starting lineup and spend some money that when you play at home, the players can feel it a little bit. Like St James Park is one of the top five, if not top three stadiums in the Premier League. I, I can imagine when they're frustrated, you could definitely feel that. Um,
Well,
yeah,
also, how about Arsenal? The road they're getting to the FA Cup final. I mean, they beat Mansfield Town 2-1.
yeah,
Watched that game.
get
Not easy at
slaughtered.
all. They didn't look great at all. Like the guys that they had in there were not playing well. And Mansfield
Yeah,
Town actually, I think they scored first in that game. And then obviously they brought on Eze. He had a nice little goal there for Arsenal. That was, I mean, Arsenal really tried to like their almost their C squad they tried to put out there. Listen, the draw that Arsenal's had, I mean, Newcastle had to go through City, Bournemouth, like I think they played multiple Premier League teams coming up to
Yeah,
this, and it's like, Arsenal's playing Mansfield Town. Now they get Southampton. It's like,
yeah,
what are we doing here? So, but there are going to be some, looking at the other games there, we can just run through them real quick.
but
Liverpool got a nice little recovery after losing to Wolves. Got, pretty comfortable win away from home, which it can never be easy there. But shout out to Andy Robertson getting a nice goal there. Then 2 minutes later gets an assist to Mo Salah. So why is he not playing over Kirkez? Like, I just don't get it. It just seems like
money,
they're a bit
money.
more. But what does money have to do with it? They're both on the same.
They've spent the money on him, and they know Andy Robertson's got a foot out the door. They're not playing for anything in particular, right? You'd say you blame in the cup competitions because that's when they've got a chance to make a difference. But I don't know. They're not going to win the league, so I don't know if they're trying to bed him in. He's had flashes of good stuff recently, like going attacking, not defending. But like, yeah. And is it Robinson having a flutter because he's playing one game a month? But
I guess because
regardless, you're
he's
right.
also playing Wolves too. I guess.
But the other guy, he was great. He was noticeably good, which for a left back is not something you'd usually notice.
Yeah, we had a nice little upset. Southampton 1-0 over Fulham. That was a bit of a surprising score. I did not expect the way Fulham's been playing. They've been playing great the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I did not expect them to lose that one.
but then like where we are now and where Fulham is now, you'd kind of expect those teams to go a bit heavier on the cup. Like there's a few like yours. You're in the Champions League. You're not smashing it in the Premier League. You don't need to give a shit about the FA Cup this year. You won something last year. It's all
Yeah.
good. But Fulham, you're like, well, that was your shot to piss a few people off and kind of have a little run. So I was surprised when they lost to them like that. I really was. They're a good side, and he doesn't take any fucking messing.
Yeah. No, and it's listen, I think it's just so many games, man. It's crazy. Like there literally
Mm.
is just a game every other few days. But
Off the run.
Leeds 3-0 at Norwich City, dominated the whole game. Another good one there.
Long
Uh,
staff go. Where'd that come from? Tuck it down,
you
touch.
know what? You know what's interesting? I thought he was going to play a lot more for them. And he's been kind of used as like, all right, if we have a lead, let's bring in him as like kind of like a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I thought he'd get more burn there, but I guess he's just pretty.
He started every game for in the first eight, I think. And they
Yeah.
weren't really setting the world alight. And so they've switched up a little bit and Aronson started getting more game time and he
Yeah.
wasn't a starter. So I think the formula they've got at the minute's really good. They've got that right balance between a bit of grit in midfield with the captain, big lads at the back, and then some pace players going forward, Calvert-Lewin getting the ball as well. So yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. It was them. I think they're safe. I can't see them getting dragged into it. I think it's Forest and West Ham now. So if they stay up, big club, they'll spend some money, I think, and they'll clear off some shite that they've got on the bench as well, like that Ganato. We wanted him for years. They've paid him back. He just hasn't done it, has he? Um, They've got Dan James coming back. He was the best player last season. He played in the FA Cup. He looked good. He was getting some good balls in the box. So yeah, I think they'll be all right. But yeah, going back to the original point, I thought Longstaff was a great signing. I wanted him, but he doesn't have that much of an impact on the game. Just kind of
No,
struggles through it,
he doesn't have a lot of speed either. Like I feel
Uh,
like he's kind of fleet of foot out there. But
yeah.
did you get a chance to watch West Ham Brentford at all today?
No, I saw the alerts going up when I was in work, but um, did you watch it?
I did, and I actually had I'm trying to pull it up right now, but I had a pretty epic gambling day. So I did send you over I hit let me turn off these notifications. My bad.
I did.
Just yeah, but for me it's annoying. But it was a crazy game. I mean, it obviously went to penalties, but there were two penalty kicks in the game. Bowen had one, Thiago had one. Just some crazy, crazy penalties. It was actually a pretty wild match. And West Ham gets through. Guy tries a Panenka during penalties. It's like right down the center.
Oh,
Ariola just stood there. Like he didn't even move. He wasn't. But let me tell you about some of this action I had today. We had I actually put in West Ham to win before penalties. So that was a little -110. Nice win there. Listen to this one. I had a nice little parlay hit. 100 to win, $862. Igor Thiago to score. Kevin Schade to have a shot on target. Jared Bowen to have a shot on target, and both teams to score. And then I also hit for a nice little $272, Jared Bowen, first goal scorer. So the Wizard just went three.
Jack,
I did have him first goal scorer again. I had a little fan cash in the account. I like to, whenever they give me that, I like to throw it on something that's got some good, decent
be
odds.
nice.
And I like a little first goal scorer action. Great little like reaction to a header. Defenders just kind of stood there and nice little tap in. The first Thiago goal was actually crazy. He was actually on sides, which was surprising, but guy actually tries to hit it and he tries to get out of the way and it actually hits off his stomach and then goes into the goal. So that was pretty nice because I had both teams to score in that game. So it hit basically all of the legs. Like,
You've got to start putting that stuff live.
I know,
You've got to just be putting live. This is what I'm doing for this game because you
I
kill it
know,
in game. I don't know what it is. I don't know when you see the lineup or you see how they come out or the musk or whatever it is. You're a different gambler when the
I know. So quarterfinals, we got Man City, Liverpool.
easy, easy.
We've got who do you got in that one? It's at I think
Liverpool,
yeah,
got
Liverpool in that one. What about Chelsea versus Port Vale?
off, not Chelsea.
And then Southampton drew Arsenal. And then we got West Ham versus Leeds. That'll be a fun one.
That'll be a great game. That'll be the best
Yeah.
one out of all of them. I can see City Liverpool being boring.
Because you know what it'll be? It'll be City, Liverpool. We won't get their full teams. Like we'll have backup guys in there.
I think I'm going to say now Chelsea wins it. They're a
Dude, they
good
look
team.
Joao Pedro.
Uh,
That guy, he has been probably one of the best signings in the yeah. I don't know. Recently, Joao Pedro's just looked like a different player. I don't know what
yeah.
changed. I don't know if it was the new manager, Racina coming in, but he looks good.
I'm not
Oh,
giving him any credit. I just think because they've got young lads in that team and they're talented, they're gonna they know they're not gonna win the league now. So they'll play the football, don't get me wrong, but I think they'll have an extra bit of oomph if they can win something shiny. I think they're at that team's at that age where they do want to win something. Some of the other teams have already won stuff, got some legends in there, some vets, but they haven't. So they want to win something shiny.
absolutely. Well, listen, I'm going to test something out here because listen, there was a couple crazy things that happened in just the world of football.
Saints, yeah.
One of the things I wanted to show you, and I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see if this actually works. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, match. This was in, I think, the second division of German football. But basically, the match in Germany disrupted as a fan unplugs VAR monitor in bizarre scene. So, two fans for this club, I think it was Preußen Munster.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and say that name, but
Yeah.
apparently, so there was obviously like a potential penalty for an alleged foul in the penalty area. And basically, like when the referee went over to the screen to view it, two fans had actually cut the cable so he couldn't actually see it. So luckily though, I mean, I think VAR, the booth, they called down, they said it was a penalty, so it didn't actually end up working out for them. But just crazy. Just
Mad.
crazy.
And then you're going to talk about Celtic after this. It was
Yeah. I mean, that's
mental.
and apparently it's like this ultras group out of Rangers fan base,
Yeah.
and they all wear these blue masks, and that's the one thing I hate. Like these fans that run on the pitch, they're all covering their faces. They all just
Mm.
they're almost making it about themselves and not like haven't. And I don't know the history too much, but like hasn't there been long periods where like they banned away fans for a while?
So I was speaking to a gentleman yesterday who was actually a Celtic fan, and we were out and about, and I had no idea this game was on. And he was like, "See the game this morning?" I was like, "No." Da, da, da." He said it's the first time they've increased the capacity for they've had a whole away end. Before this, it was capped at like I think he said something like 3,500, but this time they let the full whatever the full is. It was in the sevens, so they like doubled the capacity of what they offered to the away fans to get the atmosphere going, and they fucked it. They're not going to do that again, you know.
No.
And then at the end, you see the lads taking the pens. The striker goes up to the crowd and starts winding the home fans up. Probably one of the most hostile games on the planet. I think that's got to be nipped in the butt a little bit. So you start boiling a pot and you're putting more and more stuff in it. It's going to overflow. The pens, the increased fans, and then when the Celtic fans they came onto the pitch to celebrate and like stamping on the ground. I'm not choosing a side here. I think there was accountability on both sides, like there is with any, you know, dispute in football,
Yeah.
really, when it comes to fans going on the pitch. But yeah, it could have been managed a little bit better, I felt. But I thought at one point, again, watching the clips after the fact, I thought it was going to get mental. Because what capacity? what threshold, sorry, do you have to go from people coming onto the pitch where you just have to go, right, people are going to die, get out the way, cops can't happen.
Yeah,
You know, there was
it was out of control.
so many lads coming onto the field. One of the Celtic physios got attacked.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw he was
Yeah,
all bloodied up, and I saw
mental.
one like karate kick out there. Someone got kicked in the
Yeah.
face out there. Also in that game, a little fun stat for you. Celtic did win the match, obviously on penalties. Not one shot on target. That is Martin O'Neill ball for you. So not one shot on target, but still coming away with a nice victory there. So just
And that
hilarious.
Rangers manager's been chirping him as well.
Oh yeah,
Giving him some,
definitely.
trying to get in his head a little bit. And he's like, sit down, child.
Yeah.
Let Martin work. Let Martin work.
Yeah, so this is actually out of Brazil. So there was a cup match there,
Oh
and
shit, yeah.
goalie basically kind of took out a guy,
Not even
and
that.
I know,
See,
and
it
then
wasn't even that bad.
he kind of like jumped on his chest and kind of kneed him in the face, and then it
No.
just started an all out brawl. 23 red cards were given out during this brawl.
Well,
Uh,
what you do in that scenario?
I mean, do
Like,
they even field a team next week? Like,
no, like,
it's I guess it was in a cup, so I don't know if that impacts their league, but like there was legit haymakers being thrown out there. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if you remember. You remember the Brazilian player Hulk?
yeah,
He was out there throwing some absolute haymakers at guys. There was coaches. I saw this one video of a coach actually trying to stop it, and then he then kicked a player from the other team while he was trying to stop it. Like it was absolute mayhem. Like we would think, like I'm surprised no fans ran onto the pitch for this one, but they was just the
yeah.
players. Like they were the players, the
Probably too
coaches, the
scared.
physios. They were just going absolutely ham out there. Like this, there
Was it
was
a
like
dart?
it was a cup match, but yeah, I believe it was a derby as well. But it was crazy, man. I mean, they were throwing usually you see pushing, you see some like head shoving. These were some legit punches being thrown. And we're talking sucker punches, sucker karate kicks. Like these guys had no love for each other. And it's just I need to know when they're playing again because that is going
Yeah.
to be absolute appointment television. I mean, what
Give a
is
point
going
the
on?
army.
Yeah,
I said
seriously.
to you
I
at the
think
start, I said something's going on. You know, I know there's craziness in the world, but like if you saw one of those things happen in a month, you'd be like, "Whoa, it's mad!" Three of them in a weekend, and with the Brazil one, I can't remember the last time I saw a genuine punch thrown on a football field. Never mind, 20 of them.
Oh, I think
Mad.
20s. I think 20s. I think you're selling them short a bit there from what I've seen.
I saw the highlights of it, and you see how it starts, and reading, you see the headline before you see the clip, and then you see the actual foul. And you're like, it's a bad foul, but it's not. It wasn't horrendous. Didn't kill the lad. Then afterwards, the keeper got his head smashed against the post and shit like that. You're like, what is happening? And what is happening?
It was crazy, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing and these kids just don't know how to react to stuff, but that thing took
Thrown the
off.
gin.
That is the meme from Anchorman. Like that escalated quickly, like
Yeah,
legitimately.
get it
Alrighty,
done.
well, listen. Any thoughts just on the league right now? I mean, we've got some interesting before we kind of pick next week's
Mm.
matches. I mean, we've got an interesting. I mean, Spurs. They've lost 5 in a row. I mean, Van de Ven getting a red card. I mean, they go up 1-0 in that game. Then Van de Ven gets a red card. They give up three like really quickly after that. They just seem like they are tumbling downhill. But I mean, Forest. So I mean, we've got West Ham, Forest, and Spurs. Actually, I'll throw Leeds in there as well. Like they're
No,
all within 3 points of each other.
Leeds will be fine. Between them three, they're the points from each other now. And I think, like, I was like, there's no way Tottenham go down. But if you look at the manager bounce, I can't see West Ham going down. They've got too much momentum now, and they're
Yeah,
playing
I mean, that's 2 wins in a row. I mean, that not in the league, but
doesn't matter.
they get the nice little FA Cup win. That's good for
Yeah,
morale. They
yeah.
get a nice win, over the weekend. Like that's, I think West Ham will stay up. I don't know, man. I think Spurs are going to go down with Burnley and Wolves. I just think it's just too
For
negative
real.
right now. Yeah, I do. I just don't see it getting any better right now, unless they get some guys back from injury. But I don't.
I think something in me just says there's no way those players, even the second, third string, when they know their career's on the line, they don't go, right, don't give a shit who's been going out with someone's missus or whatever the story is or whatever's going to come out in a documentary in a few years. They just rally together. But Forest don't look like world beaters, but they just look better. So like they look better. West Ham look much better than they did. and Tottenham just look lifeless. Like literally, like victims, like just waiting to lose. Like they don't look like a team that believes they can win ever again.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, but they've got the quality, and it only takes one Richarlison bit of brilliance, or Tell running like they've got the lad that can do it. It takes a little bit of something, and then win one game. They win one game. I don't know, but that's a big if.
Yeah. Yeah. So top four, Arsenal, Man City, United, and Villa are tied on points, but United's got them on goal differential there. I
It's
don't
the
know.
order now. It's the order they're going to fall in now. I think the title race is. I'm gonna, for the first time, wave my white flag on the title race. Arsenal have got it. We've been fighting for someone, not necessarily City all year. They just look too robust now. Crossed that threshold where they've got all the players that are fit, and like you said at the start, Man City don't look particularly terrifying. It's not like they're
No.
like losing things to Forest. You can see them dropping points again, even if they beat them at the Etihad. You can see City doing something stupid like drawing with an Everton or a Fulham or something like that. But yeah,
Now
so the top,
Arsenal has played one more match than everyone, so it is 7 points right now. But technically, it's four technically. So
yeah, I just can't see it now. I can't.
yeah,
I thought you bottle it, but even when you're watching them, they don't look flustered at all. They don't look bothered. They dared to wobble a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, where you're like, whoa. But then City just shot themselves in the foot. If City beat Forest, then I'm like, all right, cool. But knowing that City have got that ability to lose against a team that's scrapping, I don't know.
all right. Well, listen, let's close it out picking next
Do
week's
it.
matches. So first one we got is Bournemouth at Burnley.
I think Burnley will do it. I think they're still fighting, and they're not terrible. I think Burnley will nick that there. I think there should be a fight at home.
I'm gonna go with Bournemouth actually in that one. Next one we got Brighton at Sunderland.
Two teams that are really, really hard to predict at the minute. Brighton at Sunderland. The gloss has come off with the Sunderland consistency, but they are at home. I'm gonna shit out and say draw.
I'm gonna say draw as well. We got Newcastle at Chelsea.
Two of the most inconsistent teams on the planet. You could go away and win that 4-1, or you could lose 1-0. I'm gonna go Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go draw in that one. All right, we got your team. We got the Ev at Arsenal.
We have got a little tiny little bit of a track record of either losing to Tottenham and Arsenal 4-0 or drawing with them. I could see a draw.
I'm gonna go Arsenal. All right. Them at home. It's just yeah. Listen,
Big lads at the back, nice David Moyes defensive system,
yeah. Also,
breakaway
they they
goal,
got they
and they
they got a
go
big
1-0.
they got a big Champions League match this week too.
If they go.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think they're playing like Leverkusen. It's not. Yeah. It could
Still a
be.
game. Still a
Yeah.
game.
All right. We got Man City at West Ham. 4 p.m. kickoff.
I really want to watch this game. I think City will do them because they have to. But I will be for the first time this season rooting for West Ham.
I'm gonna go draw on that one.
Splinters, wizard over here.
All right. Next one, Leeds at Crystal Palace.
Leeds,
We're in the Sunday matches now.
Leeds.
I'm gonna go Leeds as well. All right, Aston Villa at Man United. This is a big one for those top four positions.
I will have to see the Villa lineup to be concrete, but I just got a feeling this could be something they could nick. I just think that they're like see Morgan Rogers of the world. They kind of get their backs up for the big game, and at Old Trafford, the pressure won't really be on them for the first time in a long while. I don't know. I'm gonna go Villa. Sneaky 2-1.
Not to mention, too, they got a European leg on Thursday. So that's a quick turnaround from Thursday to Sunday morning. And you almost have to think Villa, because they're a team that I think has some financial issues. I think that they're maybe potentially looking at their best chance to make the Champions League next year is by winning the Europa League. Like,
Think now.
I don't know. I think that it potentially could be. I mean, if you look at the teams that are left in that competition versus like, the gauntlet they're going to have to go down in the Premier
Yeah.
League. I mean, I think if they at least get to the semis in there, you got to start thinking about that. I don't know. I mean, obviously the league is obviously super important, but They need that money. If they don't make Champions League, they're going to lose Rodgers. They'll probably, hell, he may even end up at a Man United. But
I can see him with a Man United shirt on. He's that type of player. And then it depends what Fernandez does. But yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
honestly, where he'd fit perfectly would be Liverpool because Gakpo is shit, and they would put him on that left wing, and you'd have, you know, you have to imagine. I mean, Salah does not look like the same player. It really looked like the age has kind of hit him a bit there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens next year.
Do
I
it.
think
They're not doing sounds like that anymore. There's a few in the past where you'd be like, oh, he looks like a Liverpool player, and he goes to Liverpool. I don't know what's going on there. Don't you? I could see him with a Newcastle or Man United shirt on.
yeah. So who do you have in that one? Man United or Villa or draw?
I'm gonna go Villa. Let's be honest. I said 2-1, not a cheeky 2-1. I can see their big
Yeah,
players getting up for it.
I'm gonna go draw on that one.
Is that 7 draws you picked?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, listen, I am top of the leaderboard, I think. Let's see. Maybe you need to mix in a couple more draws. All right, let's go. Fulham at Forest. Ooh,
Draw.
I'm gonna go Fulham in that one. I think they're gonna have a get back game. Let's go Spurs at Liverpool. That's not what you want,
No.
especially after you're gonna be in a battle. They're playing Atletico Madrid this week. They are gonna be in a battle. That's not the easiest team to play.
Boys, you telling me you can't see Tottenham winning that? The favourites of Liverpool. I'm gonna choose Liverpool, but it wouldn't be insane if these big players finally stepped up for this type of game. Like, winning that game on the way at Anfield, that would change their
No
entire
Van de Ven
season.
in that though. I think right.
That's big.
Yeah, right. Like that's their best defender, and he's not in it. So
Yeah, Liverpool.
yeah, I'm going Liverpool as well. And then we've got Wolves at Brentford Monday Night Football. We've been getting some doozies on Monday nights, man.
Yeah, that's a tough sell. Can I say I don't give a shit?
So
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
can
go
say,
draw. I'm gonna go as boring prediction as boring as that game is.
yeah. All righty. Well, listen. Hopefully, this actually did record. Hopefully, we didn't just do this for ourselves, and hopefully, we can actually get this up on YouTube. We don't know though, so we could just be
Roll
doing
the
this for
dice.
ourselves. We could just this could be a good
I
venting
like talking with
session.
you, and listen, I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate the authentic apology. Goes a long
Retraction.
way.
Yeah, I think
No,
we should clip that at least. Get that out on the socials. We need to spread the
send it to
word. Send it to
me.
your dad,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if your daughter could, understand it yet, but we should still play it for her. Like just all right. Well, Anthony, it was
Well
good
played,
catching
lads.
up with you, man. We will
Post those lives. Post those live bets
yes.
tomorrow. You're going to be doing them. Post them, post
Yeah,
them, post them.
Champions League tomorrow. Although I'm going to be in a conference room for the next 3 days, so I'm not too pleased about that. Hopefully we get a bit of
Snips in the
break in
loo.
there. Yeah, maybe I'll have
Appreciate you, brother.
the phone in the lap, maybe, but we'll have some action. We know that. All right, man. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you
Brother.
all next week. Monday Night Footy Pod. We'll be back, hopefully live.
Peace.
Hopefully all three of us. We don't know though.
Podfather's back. Slippers will be
Yep.
clean. Attitude better. It's polished. It'll be good.
Yeah, we'll be
Nice one,
here.
brother. In a
All
bit.
right, we'll
Peace.
see you later.